Hello, everyone. So I'll be starting a presentation. Let me introduce myself. My name is David. I'm the CEO of company OnSinch. Software designed and created for crewing companies. We always like to say also why we have the crewing software in the first place. So it's also because we are also a co-founders of company Shameless that is managing crew and the workforce last 15 years. So everything that you will see today has been designed and developed with the know-how of the same kind of the companies that we run. The presentation itself will take about 30 minutes. I will go through staff registration, the profile of your crew member, to planning, scheduling, communication in our platform, as well as how the application look from the staff perspective or crew perspective. In the end, we will definitely have about 5 to 10 minutes for any Q&As, but also feel free to use the Q&As during the presentation if you want to ask anything. Under the activity tab, you should be able to raise any questions that I will be able to immediately see and answer. So thank you for joining today, and I'll start right now. So as you can see over here, the first thing is this login page. This is running on my david.demo account, but obviously the live URLs are coming at the domain of your agency, and the systems are running on the Google servers. So everything is cloud-based, and OnSinch is a software as a service. Right now, I would be logging in as the main administrator, and as I mentioned later, we will also have a look into the system, how it looks from the perspective of your staff, of your crew member. But let me begin with the admin part. The first thing that you see after we join in is the dashboard, which is basically the overview for your planners and for all of your team members. It can have a different widgets. Over here, right now, we can see different amount of the widgets like shifts overview, see size of the positions, showing us very easily graphically how many positions per day we have scheduled active, full, and how many positions are missing in the upcoming days. We also have some financial tabs, staff registration tabs, and the tabs over here below. These widgets are showing them all the running and all the upcoming shifts within the upcoming days. Obviously, the dashboard is customizable. Every of these widgets can be set it up differently with different kind of filters and adjustments. The purpose is simple. Usually in the companies like ours, you have a planner responsible for planning the shifts and the coordination with the people. Then you have a people more responsible maybe for the financial management, invoices, overdues, payments, and price quotes. And then maybe some staff that are more responsible, for example, for staff profile and registrations. Over here, over here on the running and upcoming shifts, let me just quickly show you how the system works. So over here, you have two shifts which are happening right now on the Thursday. In this shift, you have stations and technicians. The shift is starting at 11 to 15. The application is linked with the Google Maps, so we can see in which location the event is taking place and what's the name, Concert for Freedom Loaded. Your client requested 4 staff members, and you have 4 out of 4 booked. And your client who requested the services is called Rockstar's Promotion in the system. The client contact person from the client side is in this case Stanley Starcaster. And if we look over here below, we see that crew boss or crew chief, who is responsible for this particular shift, is Rob Brody. On the second shift, you can see all of the same informations. Our crew boss, crew chief, you can actually rename this position in the system to whatever you prefer and like team boss, team leader. In this case would be Harry Helper. While hovering over your crew member, you can also see that the information such as name, surname, age is over there immediately visible, but there are also another important informations such as his driving license, car availability, or there can be some certifications. All of this is also customizable. So apparently the height is not the most important thing that you as a crewing manager would need to see, but maybe his certification to be able to operate forklifts, work at heights, or something else is. This is just a quick hover card, but we can always dive into the bigger detail of how the staff member detail looks like by clicking on his name or simply searching his name over here within this top search button. The top search can actually search for everything through names, surnames, emails, telephones, but even projects, clients, everything. So it's a whole wide company search bar. After opening the staff member, the first thing that you can see is a detail of all of his shifts where he was scheduled, as well as all of these shifts where he is still scheduled for the future, where you can still sign him off. The list is quite simple, from job and shift ID through date, event name, location, whether he worked as a crew, stagehand, technician, how many hours he did, what is his wage or salary for this particular shift, whether he worked as a contractor, 0-hour contractor, freelancer, and so on, and whether he was present, late, or no-show. The last icon will show you whether he was a crew boss, leading position, a regular staff member, or there is one more icon, which is also a blue icon, which is a stand-up or backup position. I'm going to quickly go through these other tabs which are relevant for your business, which could be personal information, where you can hold all of the information about your crew members, such as their name, IDs, documents, personal information, so you can employ them, where you can track their financial summary and the balance, how much they earned, how much you should pay them within this month, whether you are paying monthly, weekly, bi-weekly, and so on, as well as the contract, which kind of contract this particular person or crew member has active and valid in your system. It's necessary to mention that also all of these contracts can be signed electronically, digitally through email, which is also simplifying the paperwork a lot. Another important tab over here are appointments. We use the appointments to train the crew. So anything which is non-job related activity, anything where you are not paying your staff or invoicing your client could be considered appointment in the system. So typical ones are team buildings, summer parties, payouts, contract days, or even trainings and certification days where you need to meet with the crew, get everybody in your office or any venue at one location and do some kind of a training or testing. Attributes, a popular section, is a place where you can track the CV and all of the individual skills of your labor, from their language skills, car availabilities, experiences, certification, where you can even track the expiration dates, and the system can automatically notify both your administrators as well as your crew members about their expiration, for example, 1 month before, which is also customizable per certification expiration. Over here in the right side, we can see the badge system, which is allowing you to track certain experience in specific categories of your crew, whether he is a junior sound engineer, medium, or a highly experienced senior engineer. The badges are something that you can customize as well, upload your own picture and track the skills. As well, these badges can change the rates per hour or flat rates of your technicians and engineers, but also help you to easily find and filter all of your staff members based on these criteria. Another important part would be feedbacks. We are working with the staff. It's a lot of people, so it's important to track feedback, no matter if they are positive, neutral, or negative. So over here on this page, and it's always visible only for you as the administrator of the company, you would be able to find all the feedbacks that was created by Harry and sent towards somebody else, as well as created by somebody else and sent towards Harry. Also, a quick summary over here in the right top corner, how many received and sent there was in particular categories. Rating is a smart way how to track not only the punctual arrivals as well as skill of your staff member, but also a way how to separate how much he's gonna be paid in his specific category. So obviously, if we are providing crew or stagehands towards our clients, for example, we are charging our clients, let's say £25 per hour, but we would be paying our crew differently, maybe 15, 17, 18, 19 to 20, depending on how long they have been working within our company. So the rating is a perfect helper in our system to help you to separate the rates and create, let's say, a rate categories for different crew members. To-do system is a smart way how to create to-dos and tasks along the database. You can create to-dos not only for the staff members, but also for shifts, projects, and companies. In the end, there is also a calendar history. So this is very similar to the job overview, but mostly in the calendar look. I think important is that your staff members can book themselves unavailable in particular days, as well as available in particular ones. And most importantly, they can synchronize calendar with their iCal or Google Calendar. In the end, some communication history. This will show you all the messages, news, push notifications, emails exchanged, particularly with Harry Harper. in the system. And also you can see that some news that we have in the system can also allow you to track whether the person has seen it, agreed with it, and there could be also kind of like a checkbox which will require the staff member to read and acknowledge that he has understood and that he agreed, and the system will track on which day he checked this box for you, which will obviously save some time and paperwork, maybe when updating terms and conditions or sending some important non-disclosure agreements for important events upfront. History and changes, this is a simple backlog and timeline of everything that ever happened with this profile. So everything is always tracked and you will never lose any information about what happened and what was changed and why. And penalties and bans, this is a very a typical part, but as working with stuff, sometimes it happens that a client might request a restriction for a specific person in your database not to work with their company again. So for example, we can see that Harry is on the restriction list for the Red Beast Energy, so he cannot work for this specific client in your database. There could be also a location ban. So for example, if a Royal Albert Hall would want to put somebody particularly on the restriction list, the system will notify you as well. Obviously, if there are too many restrictions, you don't want to work with this kind of a person in your database, and it's just easier to block his profile completely over here in the right-hand corner. Last but not least, there are statistics showing you total attendances. Total attendances is a crew chief, hours worked, no-shows, late arrivals, and so on. In last years, every month, payments, wallet income, if you decide to track their wallet income, as well as statistics about their total hours and shift attended per month, and lower some top companies that this particular person worked for. Obviously, these are the statistics per one particular staff member, Harry Helper, but if you want to look for all the company-wide statistics, you will always find them in the menu in the section statistics, where there are both agency statistics as well as financial overview and other details, informations, and beautiful graphs. So this was a overall idea how the staff profile member looks like, and I would also show you how a company detail looks like. So if we click on one of our clients in the database, for example, Red Beast Energy, so this would be one of your customers, and the system can also hold information about your customers, so you can assign them orders, price quote them, invoice them later, and do furthermore. Over here, you will have an overview about the information about your clients, company details, and informations which are, again, adjustable and customizable. If you have an account manager, you can also track it and connect it with this particular client. And also, there are some default job options. This goes quite handy when you decide to work with, for example, a venue, which is always within the same location, same place, and maybe they have the same kind of requirements or descriptions. So you can already pre-design the tax location requirements for this particular client, saving you some time when you are building new projects for this particular client in your database. Another tab would be company members. Those are personnel and staff who are the clients or product managers who are requesting the services from you, as well as the other contacts they are using on their events. Different price lists. These would be this would be very handy in case you need to create a different price list for your different clients. Obviously, if you have a client providing you a lot of work for the summer festival, you would probably give him a little bit better rate per hour than a client who you are starting with and is not giving you too much work, as well as if you're having a client you work with for a very long time and you have a big partnership, then obviously this will probably have a better price rate as well. So the price list will always allow you to set different price lists for your clients based on your needs. Orders will always give you an overview of all opened orders, price quotes if there are any, and order history for this particular client. And if you would decide to use even our invoicing system, you would also see all of the invoices which have been invoiced towards this particular client. Everything is connected with the orders, and the system will later on track whether they are paid, partially paid, not paid, or even overpaid. It can sometimes happen. The payments is an individual payment, as there could be more payments for one invoice. The banned stuff. So this is the other section where we can see that Harry is not able to work for this client, and there would be more if more needed to be added on the ban list for this particular client. And just like within the staff member, we can see some financial statistics over here. A summary of obligations invoiced in total. So this obviously comes into handy if you're using our invoicing module and you have an overview about how much this particular client is earning, or what you are earning by cooperation with this particular client. So that would be the client part and the CRM part. So we've covered the staff member, we've covered the client over here, and now the third most important part would be the project probably. So let me show you a detail over here of one project. Let me open, for example, this concert for Freedom Loden. I think this is quite simple project. If I close this card and I'll close the menu, you can see that this project is created only out of the two shifts, load in and load out, which is quite typical in our industry. Over here within the load in, you have an information about the projects, that this name is load in, timing, dates, location. You would see the map, location, and the point, just like your crew members would see exactly where they should arrive. There should also be a description and public description available, so everybody would be able to see what the event is about, and if there are any attachments, files, logos, PDFs, you can attach it with every single ship and project. And good to mention is also that there could be a different public description for all of the crew, as well as different description only for your crew chief. So you can kind of overload your crew chief with more data and information about the project, which makes sense, and keep it a little bit short and simple for the rest of your crew. Over here, we can see 4 crew members. Everything is signed. We can see 4 hours of 4 people are scheduled. So this day is well prepared. And if you want to do any communication, for example, with these 2 technicians, with William and Walter, you can over here click on this button and send them email, text message, news, or push notification. But if you want to do the communication with everybody on the shift, even Rob, Rody, and Sarah, you simply click over here in the button, and the system will automatically get everybody on this shift and send this information towards all of those 4 crew members. In the end, if you want to do the information message and send it towards everybody on the project, no matter whether it's load in, load out, or whether it's a 30-day ongoing festival, you click over here in the top. So by this simple pyramid structure, the system is allowing you to do a very precise communication only towards one or a specific group of crew members, or very wide range communication towards everybody who is signed to do this project. Within this same kind of a pyramid structure is also designed this generation of timesheets, accreditations, exports. So you can always do everything per shift, or you can simply do it over here for the whole project. Where I would like to highlight, for example, the accreditation, highly important when we need to send the crew towards locations like role places, halls, venues, and places where they are required to see the IDs and the documents up front. So let me just go and pick the passport photo, ID document, again, adjustable information in your database. And on one click, the system will immediately generate a accreditation with your logo in the right top corner and all the information about your stuff and the project over here on one click. The generation of the document is also very important for price quotes and calculations. So whether you need to create a calculation on specific type, there are multiple types that you can select. I'm just going to generate this typical one. So it would create immediately a preliminary job calculation. Again, your logo, supplier, client, job project information, and then all the details: start times, finish hours, rates, flat rates, hourly rates, or a combination, typically 4, 5, 6 hour minimum rate plus an hourly rate later. So the point in the end is to have everything on one click regarding this, because this will save you a lot of time and stress for the planning. This is the way how to view the data over here with these cars and tabs, and on the dashboard I've shown you how it looks from this list perspective. But there is also a way how to look at it from the scheduler perspective. So so for the crew members and the staff members who prefer the calendar overview, we've designed this a simple scheduler where in the top section you can see all of your projects and people who are assigned to the projects. And over here below, over here down here, you can see all of your crew members and where they are. And by zooming in and out, I can go up to 30-day view, which is a maximum, or 31, where I would see up to 31 days of every crew member in my database. I would be able to scroll down and see where the individual crew members are booked, who are on the holidays, available, not available. So this will give me a very quick overview about my staff, obviously. By clicking on any card of those, it would immediately open the detail where I can read a little bit more about the project. So I can simply go through the projects, clicking on the details like this for finding out more. Or I can zoom in a little bit more and get more data over here within these cells. What informations are within these cells is again highly customizable. So over here in the settings, you can set what kind of informations you want to see over here within this lower cells of the staff informations, whether it's company, client, job name, location, and furthermore, which would update all these informations while zooming in and show you a little bit more information. So again, customization is the goal and the key to have everything highly setupable. And also a good thing to know is that every administrator in your company using the scheduler can create and set up his own individual unique filters, settings, and save it as his own preferred view. And every view that you are create, you can also save as a public view, some view that can be used across your whole organization that you are using as a smart, reasonable view that is available for everyone. In this top section, within this view, we can see some load and load out shifts. There's also this linking button. It will immediately show you which positions are linked together. This feature is a grouping feature, which is highly important in the crewing industry, as when you are booking people for load in and load out, it's probably very crucial and necessary to have the same kind of stuff for the load in and the load out. So by grouping the projects, the system will always make sure that you have the same crew and the same stuff on either both of the load in or load out. Or if you are scheduling 5-day project, you will also get all of these crew members for the 5-day project. If you are publishing your projects on the job board and letting your staff to kind of pick the jobs or apply for the jobs, the grouping will also allow you to make sure that everybody would be applying for the one job at once, which I will show you also later when discussing the scheduling. Over here, within this view settings, there are also show positions for options from none, where we can see only the information about the whole projects and the total capacity, 2 out of 2, to a simple view, which will even show us the name of the professions which are scheduled and the amount of the staff per profession, through compact, which will even show us the names of the position, but the positions where there are more than one staff, it would kind of keep them condensed, as the extended is the last one where even the positions where there are more than one crew member will be extended. So again, depending on the size of your organization, you can have different amount of the views and the settings for different projects to match your needs. And of course, I would also like to show you how the drag and drop planning works. So for example, if we see that these positions are empty on these 2 projects, and we have our staff members available here, you can either drag and drop the position into your staff members, just into their shift over here by just dropping it on the staff member, or you can select a specific staff member over here, right drop, and schedule him over there on the top. This scheduling is kind of the one where no reconfirmation is needed from the staff perspective, but actually the more important one and the most popular one is where you require the confirmation from your staff. So let's, for example, invite Nathan over here, and also let's invite, for example, Gabby. So within this option where the required confirmation is checked, you will see that these staff members will be pending, orange over here, and they would be waiting for their yes or no from their staff portal. So if I would now open the Gabby's profile, I will open her over here, Gabby, logging in as the Gabby. We can see that over here, she's also having one shoot where she's invited, but it's still pending. And if we log in as Gabby, The first thing that the Gabi would see on her profile are shifts to confirm. So she can see she was invited. She would receive a push notification or text message, and she can decline or confirm. She can decline from the dashboard, or she can have a look in her calendar and actually see where she's scheduled within the calendar to compare it with the other events in her calendar, decide to decline or confirm, or visit the detail of the project and decline or confirm in the project detail. If I now log in back as the administrator, we would see that Gabi is already confirmed. So for this particular project, we can see that there is an invitation done by administrator 1 minute ago and 1 minute after Gabi confirmed. So an ideal situation. If we open the detail of this project, we can see one confirmed person as a crew boss, one confirmed and invited Gabi, one confirmed automatically by admin Rob, and there's still one pending person, Nathan, to confirm. You can also confirm attendance on his behalf as the administrator, in any case, to keep it also simplified. So the invitations and putting the people on the jobs and the projects manually is obviously one thing how to do it. Another option how to do it is also publish your projects on your job board and let your staff members basically sign up for the shifts. So let me sign in as Harry Helper, one of our good crew members and demo users. And when I open Harry's profile, the first thing Harry sees is some kind of a message information over here in the top. This is something that you can actually customize. There is his agenda. This is the first thing that he sees is where he is right now, the time, date, location, and the contact person for the client. If you click on the detail, he will read more information about the projects, location, map, and if he's a crew chief, he can also see the contacts and names for the others. In his agenda, he can also see and request to see all available shifts. And within this case, you can allow your staff actually to apply for your projects. It's a very simple way how to do crewing and scheduling. And the good thing is that, for example, here we can see the group shift. There is another shift group with this particular one. If we want to sign for this particular project, I can. This is a typical way where the system works as a first come, first served basis. So that's the one way how to sign up for the project. Another way how to do the sign up for the projects is where the crew members will sign as an applicant and your administrator will decide who will be chosen for the specific project. Depending on you how you want to mix it. Very important for you to know is that all of the badges and attributes that I showed you in the profile and the profile member of the staff member, all these skills and the informations that we track from driving licenses, certifications, all of those could be set up as a requirement to be able to join specific projects. So this will basically guarantee that you have a quality on your projects. And if you need to schedule 10 crew members, you can say that you want 2 specific crew members with specific badges higher than, let's say, 3 stars. Then you want these 5 crew members with specific skill and 1 crew member with forklift certification or 1 forklifter. By setting these rules, the system will always make sure that everybody comply your rules, and only those persons who have these data in their profile would be able to join or apply these projects, which is obviously making all of the scheduling much faster and much more simplified. Over here in the detail of the profile, I'm also going to mention that you can see that profile attributes that will expire soon are notified. So if I click on the check, it will redirect me to profile attributes, and I can see that my forklift certification is valid only less than 1 month. So that's why I'm getting notification. I'm having an overview about my contracts, rating, and the badges. So this is my own internal overview as a staff member, changing password notifications, hibernation of the profile, and individual setup of this particular crew member is available here in the profile. Last but not least, there is a dark mode. We work at night, show calls and things which are happening during the night on the stage. So we don't want the light screens to be shining in the face of our lovely crew. Last thing over here in the menu, I'm also going to mention the feedback section. I mentioned it from the admin perspective, but over here you will also see it from the staff perspective. So everybody can submit feedback. Basically, if you've been on the shift where other people or other staff have been working, you can go and submit specific feedback towards the other crew members for shift on the for every shift on the project. There is always an option to submit a feedback also for the entire shift if you are not sure to whom you want to direct this specific feedback or message. Available shifts is the same kind of information I showed you from the dashboard. A bullet overview is a smart way how to show your crew member every earnings he has with specific shifts and all the payouts. So in the end, it's always a zero on the wallet, but this is a very transparent way of communication with your crew, where they work, how much they got, and where their payment was processed. As I mentioned, the calendar with the optionality to synchronize it, a communication history, an update of the terms and conditions, things which are published and confirmed, other kinds of the notifications or push notifications in different tabs, appointments, which I attended, and history of all of my shifts over here, everything where I work. In the end, our content management. So this section over here, this little thin line, which you might not even see, but there is this section we call a content management system, is something where you can actually create your own help, FAQ, upload videos, files, documents, how to train your crew, how to start working within your crewing company. When do I get my money? What should I do if I break something? So all of these typical questions that they ask, as well as training and health and safety, should be uploaded over here so everybody can reach it anytime from their mobile phones. And last part over here from the stuff detail would be a attendance. Everybody needs to do attendance, clock in, clock outs. So for example, within this view, if I click on close shift, in this particular case, the system is designed that crew boss, Harry Helper, is responsible to give arrivals, departures of everyone. So let's say, for example, that Sarah did not arrive. She didn't pick the phone, unfortunately. Let's say that Rob arrived late, and he mentioned that it was because of the traffic jam. What else? And because of that, we had to stay longer, let's say. If the crew chief wants, he can also create a note for the whole project, write any comments, attach any files, pictures of broken things, equipment, or any paperwork and document that needs to be taken picture and saved with the project, which can quite come handy. And if everything is right, he just check box and close the shift. The last thing that happens is that he's encouraged to send a feedback towards the staff members he's been working with, but he can always skip it. As Sarah didn't arrive, I can give her a negative feedback just because it didn't happen for the first time. And I can also submit one very good one for the Kate, as she was great. So quite simple, very simple for the crew chief. If you don't like the way that it would be done from the crew chief perspective, the system also allows you to set it that every crew member is responsible to send you and create his clock in, clock out individually. And we can also create clock in and clock out individually with the GPS tracking. So the system can double check only once when the person arrives, track his location, check it, and make sure that he's over there. We are not tracking their location all the time. The system will only ask for the location when he's arriving for the spot. So that's another way how to do clock in, clock out. But obviously working with the crew, when you have a crew chief on the location, we find it much more easy to just leave this necessity for your crew chief. And it's a two-step process. So I'm going to finish my presentation with the second part, where the attendance needs to be reviewed by somebody from your team. So Harry Helper gave us some information about this attendance. And here we can see the feedback that we've been just filling in from the staff member. We can see some positive feedback for Kate. We can see some negative feedback for Sarah. If we want to see all these feedback, we can just simply open them over here in the feedback section to read all the information. The graph will easily show us the overtimes, because I can see the shop was scheduled from 8 to 1. But this visual way of seeing the data is immediate and clear for me that two crew members stayed longer. One arrived late and didn't arrive on the meeting time, which is over here with this light green, and one person didn't arrive at all, which is kind of striking over here. Um, Obviously, over here, I can immediately see the notes from my crew chief. So the crew chief didn't know anything from Sarah, but we already went in touch and know that she was excused. She was hospitalized, and unfortunately, and Rob was late again. Let's keep it like that. If you need to track any breaks, you can. And if you need to do any changes for 10, 15, 20, 100 crew at once, all the statuses, arrivals, departures, breaks, and rolls can be edited at once, just like everything in the system. Once you close and proceed, you save this data in the system and consider this shift approved, so it would be ready for your final payroll and further invoicing. If we want to discuss more and see more regarding in invoicing, how we manage projects, how you can add more invoice items, transportations, scheduled jobs, how to do a massive amount of the changes and edits within one project, you can always reach out to us, because there is a lot more that I would love to show you in a one-to-one presentation, as it's quite a big, powerful platform that should allow you to do and make easier life for any crew manager. But this was all of the important parts I wanted to show you today. I would like to use this opportunity to thank you for your attention. And if you have any questions, please do use this opportunity right now and ask them. I will also share my information, email, and contact messages along with the recording to everybody who was signed up for this webinar later.